The silent agreement. Why speaking up is the ultimate act of courage. Awakening. Your voice to ignite change, defend truth, and inspire a braver world. Silence gives consent. These ancient words, etched into the annals of wisdom, carry a weight that transcends time, cultures, and generations. They serve as a stark reminder that in the face of wrongdoing, inaction isn't innocence, it's implication. To stand mute while injustice unfolds isn't a stance of neutrality, it's a subtle nod of approval, a quiet complicity that allows shadows to deepen and wrongs to proliferate unchecked. In every epoch of human history, from the forums of ancient Rome to the digital arenas of today, silence has been the unspoken ally of oppression. It is the invisible thread that weaves consent into the fabric of society, turning bystanders into unwitting participants. When we witness cruelty and avert our gaze, when we see suffering and seal our lips, when we encounter falsehoods and let them linger unchallenged, we are not preserving peace. We are granting permission for darkness to thrive. This is the silent agreement, a pact forged not with words, but with the absence of them, allowing the seeds of injustice to take root and flourish. Consider the pivotal moments that have defined our collective story. Societies crumble, not always under the boot of tyrants, but under the weight of collective quietude. Wrongs become woven into the norm when voices of conscience fall silent, when indifference masquerades as harmony. Injustice doesn't flourish in isolation. It blooms in the fertile soil of unspoken acceptance, where the loudest proclamations often emerge not from the aggressors, but from the deafening hush of the onlookers. The ancient Greeks understood this profound dynamic. Silence isn't emptiness, it's endorsement, a message that reverberates louder than any shout. I do not object. I am content with this reality. I will not disrupt my comfort to uphold what is right. In our modern tapestry, this truth resonates with amplified urgency. We inhabit a world where information flows like rivers, yet courage often trickles like a drought-stricken stream. Social media amplifies every opinion, yet how many scroll past atrocities without a word? Workplaces buzz with productivity, but how often do we witness ethical lapses and choose the safety of silence over the risk of speaking? Communities thrive on connection, but how frequently do we see neighbors suffer in solitude because no one dares to voice concern? This silent complicity isn't born of malice. It's cradled in fear. Fear of backlash, fear of isolation, fear of the unknown repercussions. We convince ourselves we're too insignificant to matter, too vulnerable to risk, too uncertain to act. What difference can one voice make? We whisper to ourselves, rationalizing our reticence. But history roars back with resounding proof. Every seismic shift, every civil rights march, every whistleblower's revelation, every act of defiance against tyranny began with a single trembling voice, piercing the veil of quiet. It wasn't the volume that ignited change. It was the valor of the first to speak, inspiring a chorus that swelled into a revolution. Reflect now on your own sacred journey, brave heart. Recall those pivotal instances where words begged to be spoken, but fear clamped your throat shut. A colleague demeaned in a meeting, and you averted your eyes. A friend enduring silent pain, and you offered platitudes instead of probing truth. An injustice unfolding before you, and the opportunity to intervene slipped away in hesitation. In those moments, what toll did your silence exact? Not just on the world around you, but on your own soul, the quiet erosion of integrity, the subtle dimming of your inner light. Now, envision the alternative. What if you had summoned the strength to speak? What ripples of transformation might have cascaded forth? A life uplifted, a wrong righted, a chain of courage ignited. The power of your voice isn't in its decibels. It's in its authenticity, its timing, its unyielding commitment to truth. Courage doesn't demand fearlessness. It thrives on conviction, the deep-seated belief that some principles are sacred, some truths non-negotiable, some injustices intolerable. This is the ultra-inspirational essence of speaking up. It's not merely an act, it's an awakening, a declaration of your sovereignty over silence. In a world desperate for heroes, your voice becomes the spark that kindles fires of justice, the bridge that connects isolated hearts, the force that disrupts the status quo of suffering. You may tremble as you speak, stand solitary in your stance, face the gales of opposition. But in that vulnerability lies your victory. For history isn't scripted by the thunderous tyrants. It's rewritten by the resolute voices that refuse to be silenced, inspiring waves of change that wash over the world. Embrace this call to valor. Let your words be weapons of wisdom, shields of solidarity, beacons of bravery. Speak even when your voice quivers like a leaf in the wind, for that authenticity will resonate deeper than any rehearsed roar. Speak when isolation looms, for your solitary stand may summon allies from the shadows. Speak when the tide turns against you, for truth's current always prevails. In doing so, you shatter the silent agreement. You affirm that consent is never given through inaction. You become the guardian of goodness, the defender of the downtrodden, the light that pierces pervasive darkness. Your voice, once hushed, now harmonizes with the chorus of changemakers across time, from the ancient orators who challenged empires to modern activists who topple injustices, proving that one courageous utterance can echo eternally, inspiring legions to find their own voices. You were not crafted for complacency, forged for fear, or destined for quietude. You were born to be bold, to bridge divides, to break barriers with the sheer force of your spoken truth. Silence may offer illusory safety, but it's surrender in disguise, a forfeiture of your power, a dimming of your destiny. Rise then, voice of valor. Disrupt the darkness with your dawn. Shatter the lie with your light. Become the inspiration that awakens the world to its own bravery. For silence gives consent, but your speech, it grants permission for justice to prevail, for hope to flourish, for humanity to heal. This world hungers for your words, your wisdom, your unwavering stand. Speak up, not for acclaim, but for the sacred call of conscience. Let your voice be the catalyst that inspires a cascade of courage, transforming silent agreements into symphonies of solidarity. You are not small. You are seismic, not unimportant. You are irreplaceable, not uncertain. You are unstoppable. The time is now. Unleash your voice and watch as it inspires the dawn of a braver, brighter world.
If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.